Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, and welcome back to Herman Electro, where we have one more super tool to unlock. And so that's my goal today, is basically to see if we can manage to unlock that. At the time I'm recording this, I have some minor time pressure because I'm going to be busy in real life for a good portion of the next 2 weeks. You guys are probably watching this in like August or September or something, and meanwhile, I could do this with one saw, so let's just go ahead and get it done. I can just do this, and then use my saw down here, and walk back this way. But yeah, you guys are probably watching this in like August or maybe even September. Kind of lost track. I'm kind of way ahead on recording this series, but I had a ton of fun with this game. Yeah, and so I want to get everything unlocked basically before, while I still have this all fresh in my head. So let's see. What do I have here? The problem is when I push this button down, he's going to get out and the trapdoor is going to go. It's a toggle and I have a battering ram. What could the battering ram mean? It means that I can break blocks. So I could break one of these blocks, like this one, and then he'll still be able to fall in the hole. That sounds good to me. So let's do that. I think battering rams go through metal walls. Now that I'm saying it, I'm not 100% sure, but we'll have the opportunity to correct if I'm wrong. Okay, it does go through. So I think that solves the entire problem. And so now if I do this, the trapdoor is still down, and so the guard will just fall in the hole, and everybody's happy, except for the guard. But we don't care about the guard. Okay, great. And we didn't even need to do with one of the rooms. And I've gotten 2 bricks, and I'm pretty happy with that. So let's just go downstairs and see what we have next. Left or right? I'm in a left mood today. So let's see what we have here. I could just walk in, but he will eventually see me coming and try to step on the thingy, and that will shut the door. And also he'll be chasing me. And so is there a way for me to... Yeah, what's the ideal thing to do here? I don't immediately see it. I do have a saw, and so I wonder if I can, like, saw a bit of wood to change his pathing. You would think by now I would be better at kind of reasoning about guards and their pathing AI, but you would be incorrect. Well, I am just seeing if I let him out over here, I wonder if I could get him caught on this edge, except for he'd be too close to me. He'd be like right up against me, chasing me. It seems more like I might have to, like, suppose I cut this. Well, if I cut this, he'd be even with me, and so he'd immediately be chasing me back out. And if this ever gets stepped on, bad things happen. So is there anything in here that I can cut that he wouldn't immediately be chasing me? I guess if I cut this and went in here, yeah, he'd just be right behind me. I don't see any edges I could lose him on. If I cut it here and I went in here, he'd be right behind me and he'd continue chasing me even over here. So I don't immediately see a way to do that that doesn't involve shooting the guard. And admittedly, I have a gun, so shooting the guard is totally an option. Meanwhile, over here, I will need the battering ram. Yeah, this is complicated too. So I need to get the battering ram out, which means first I need the guard out through the glass side so that he doesn't push the battering ram into the covered pit. Actually, I think he pushes it over the covered pit, doesn't he? And then he falls in the covered pit? Or does the battering ram open the covered pit? I think maybe it does, and we're early enough that if I'm wrong, I am willing to just lose this round. So remind me what happens with this. Good, okay. That's what I thought was going to happen, but I couldn't remember for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of details of interactions among all the different pieces, all the different moving parts in this game. I probably should have been taking more notes about kind of edge case kind of stuff like that, so that I would be more sure, but I have not been taking any notes. Other than about what tools I might need to try to solve a meta puzzle back in the hub. That I have been taking notes about. This room... I did get a pressure plate and a saw, I think, which is enough to solve this room without much trouble, so let's just go ahead and do it. A saw, pressure plate, I got a plank. Whatever those things are called. And then I just got 2 saws over here, which maybe is going to help me solve this one. Well, if I had another plank and a saw would go good here. Actually, a saw and a saw would go just fine here. Yeah, okay. I don't expect there's any way to solve this with one tool. And so for a two-tool solution, say that 5 times fast, tool solution, that seems pretty good. And then up here, I can't cut the wire, but I don't have wire cutters anyway. If I pressed both of these, I could gun saw it, because I don't have the planks. The other thing I could do, that's interesting. The other thing I could do is use a saw and a water bucket, which might have been what I just got. So if I step in here, step on this, saw this, step on here, leave a water bucket behind to conduct the power, and walk out. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen this room before. It's cool that we're... What am I up to? A lot of episodes. Is this like 34 or something? 34 episodes in and I'm still finding new rooms. It's also possible that my memory has failed me, and we've seen that room before. Let's go check out what's in the little bonus shop thing over here. I can't remember what that heart thing does. And a battering ram that I can just place, like, it's a lot of resources. In general, those shops rarely seem worth spending, other than to discover what a new super tool is going to do. But I think, as I discussed at the end of the previous episodes, a lot of the super tools are not all that super. So I could use a saw and 2 planks here. But that's 3 resources to solve a puzzle. Let's see if possibly I can get by with fewer. Over here, I don't have any wire cutters. And it seems like I would need to... A saw and a brick would work, right? Because I could throw the brick onto the pressure plate. Yeah, and that's only 2 resources, so let's spend a saw and a brick in order to do that. And see what we get in return. It's a saw and 2 pressure plates. 3 resources that I might need to use to solve a puzzle. How convenient. Saw. I keep calling them pressure plates again. Plank. Plank is the name of this thing. And we get 2 bricks. Over here, I have some fears about what I would find in here. And that doesn't seem like a puzzle where the bricks are going to help. So let's just see if there might be... Well, I've got bricks fresh on the brain. I see a way to free both of these with 2 bricks, and that is what I would need to do. Let me verify my thinking. But yeah, rather than even announce it, is there a better way? I don't think there's a better way. But what I'm seeing is I can do this. Brick, brick. That glass breaking sound is really good. I enjoy it a lot, even if it's loud when you do a few in a row. Ah, it's just fun to smash things, like, in video games. And we get a single saw. That is not a lot of resource to solve a puzzle. Does single saw somehow mysteriously solve this puzzle? I kind of doubt it. If this pressure plate were down, then all of these pressure plates would be down. But this would need to be turned off, but that's easy to do with the saw. But is there an easy way to get this pressure plate down? I mean, I could saw a brick, and then I wouldn't have another saw. So that's a no-go. Obviously, I can saw and 2 planks over here. But that's 3 resources. Remind me what was over here. It was something that I didn't really give much consideration. That's all I remember. Right. So there's probably like a guard in there. And so if I walk in there, I'd be closing myself in, which is no good. Oh, but I could just use a saw here. And that will let the presumed guard out with no easy way to do some convincing of changing the states of the pressure plates. But if I did... So right now power is flowing this way. So if I simply step on this once, all of this will go off. I'll be able to see in here. And then, is there a way to get the guard hung up? Yeah, I've got a gun if I need it. I think I'm willing to risk stepping in here and getting a better look at the situation. Oh, there's 2 guards. Ooh. Now I'm not nearly as happy about the situation. All right. Not happy. And if they end up getting caught in here, yeah, they're going to stand on this again. However, well, if I shut them in there again, then they can't get out and do the walk around. Like, I'm trying to see if I can lead them around in a circle. And yeah, they can't walk through each other, so that also complicates bringing them both toward me. This is a mess. Let's maybe not do this puzzle. Or come up with a different way to solve it. So let's look at this puzzle that we might have to spend 3 resources on. Could also go upstairs and get another gun, and that would make me feel better about that situation. Okay, so a saw and 2 planks would do this. A saw and a brick and a saw would do it, but I don't have a second saw. And I think that's all I see. So I'm just going to use the saw and 2 planks and see if this opens up the exit. That feels expedient. It does open up the exit. All right, so we can just avoid that one puzzle I didn't want to do. And there's also a shop that is selling the heart again, which is not what I want. I've only got 1 bit of scrap, so that actually makes it unlikely that I'm going to be able to unlock a new thing during this run, now that I think about it. And meanwhile, we have this crazy room. If I had a saw, I could just gun saw it. If I turn on all the bits of power, I would need to sponge off this pressure plate. That's fine, I've got sponges. And if I turn this on, that's actually bad for me. So I prefer to walk around, and I could just spend 2 planks, or I could spend a saw to get in here. But then I'd also need, yeah, a wire cutter or something. So yeah, it looks like I could walk in here, use 2 planks, and a sponge. So 2 planks and a sponge is right now the best solution I see in that room. And let's compare it to this monstrosity. Pretty sure I have seen this before, but I don't remember how it goes. Need to remember that I have the flame tool as well. Flames could be useful. So there's a certain alignment of all these pressure plates that would be needed in order to... This would have to be down. Looks like this would have to be down. And the other one would have to be up. And the issue is... what? Well, the issue is it's hard to get there without tearing down a bit of the... Oh, that's not true. Well, there's these covered pits I'd have to get across. And walking in here doesn't really help me. And I don't have wire cutters to just conduct my own power a different way or something crazy. So yeah, actually at the moment, do I see any way that doesn't involve killing the guard? So yeah, right now all I see is plank, plank, plank. Walk across here, kill the guard with the gun, get the pressure plates in the right setup, and then walk over here. So that's 3 planks and a gun, which is more resources than we had to spend down here. So let's spend our 2 planks and a sponge in this room. Crap. Well, I did not mean to stand there. So now I'm spending an extra sponge. That's a shame. I just held down the button for walking a little too long, and now I'm sad. Alright, we did get a saw. That's probably going to help in the other room. Let's get our sponge back out to get back out of here. Oh, okay, I'm fine. That surprised me when I stood on it and the door closed again, though. And now over here, I could just gun saw. And you know what? I'm going to do it. Don't like the rest of this room. Does the saw change my other strategies? I can't saw my way in there because that cuts the wires. Nope, I'm going to gun saw. So, gun, saw, and move forward. We got 2 possible ways to go. I've chosen to look in here first. And this seems mostly straightforward. Let's see. Oh, these are hold down pressure plates. Well, there is no way for me to anticipate their behavior. And I just realized there's a door here that might have a guard or something. And none of these have activated this. Well, poop. There is always gun saw available as a possibility. I see now what I should have done, which is open the door. It allow you to see the wire, perhaps at putting you in the peril of a guard, and then having inspected the wires, discover which ones of those you need to actually look at. But I only noticed that after the fact, so oops. And meanwhile, this guy feels like we have seen him before. 1 plank would get me across this. He could stand for the other thing. This looks like it would be just fine. But then over here, I'd need 2 more planks. Alternatively, a brick and a saw just gets me in if we can get rid of the guard. Yeah, this feels like another one where the obvious thing to do is just gun saw it. So I'm going to just gun saw it. And I get another gun saw. Great. Alright, this is why I like playing as Natasha. She allows me to cheese all the puzzles, and so I'm going to cheese all the puzzles. Alright. Gun brick. We're out of saws. And what's in the crazy room down here? The spring tool, poison gas, and that's... No, that's not ghost step. That's the reveal the map kind of thing, I think. Which we haven't had in a while. It only costs a brick. I'm on floor 4. I might come back up for that if I have an extra brick. Although the next floor would be the place I want to use it, because we've already tried using it in the hub. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and spend a brick on this mappy thing. Ding! That's a good sound too. Reveal your current map. Let's reveal the map of floor 5 in case it influences our strategy. And I think I'm actually going to reveal the map before picking up the tools. Okay. So, downward is the way to progress, so let's go downward. And what do we have here? We will slide into... How to reason about this? I mean, gun saw is an obvious solution, as it always is. I don't see a path that allows us to not go skidding. Like, even if I try to use this block and, like, were to saw through here, I don't know that it helps. Like, is there some kind of entryway path that would get me anywhere good? Yeah, I don't see a path through here. I don't see a way to do this without gun saw. But we've got gun saw at our disposal. I'm not sure I've seen that room before either. I don't think there were any recent updates to this game, so maybe there's just still a number of rooms I haven't seen. So this guy. None of these are sticky pressure plates, so I can experiment with them at will. I'll probably need to spend some water buckets. And right now it seems like conducting power is generally a good thing. So let's turn on all the power conductors. Okay, that's one case where it might not be a good thing. And our goal is to light up this and this. So... oh, I don't have saws. I could use water bucket, water bucket, water bucket, water buckets to get things over here. I do have a wire cutter as well. So I could also wire cut a water bucket in order to get things over here. What about on this side? Wire cut water bucket would work. And this doesn't even toggle the thing on the bottom. So yeah, it feels like almost I have to wire cut water bucket to get power flowing in here. And then 4 water buckets to get it over here. That's a lot of water buckets. Could also do 4 water buckets over here. I have the resources. Yeah, I have the resources, so I choose to do this. Zing! Okay, there's one side powered, and sure, let's do it this way. Bloop, 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 bloop. Alright, and it's all powered. And we get 4 more resources, great. And the way toward the exit is to the right, so let's go to the right. I think the maps reveal secret rooms. I'm not 100% sure on that. We've not found very many secret rooms during the whole course of the playthrough. Just enough to kind of know that they exist. Okay, I have some bricks. I have a sponge. Yeah, I have cheesed this puzzle in the past. And do I want to cheese it again? Because right now I do have saws. And I don't think I see a way that involves spending fewer than 2 resources, so I believe the correct thing to do, and by correct I mean most expedient and also thing that spends the fewest total number of resources, is to go upstairs and grab another gun. So let's go upstairs and grab another gun. I could spend a brick on a gun. I don't suppose there's anywhere upstairs that I could spend a sponge on a gun. There is? How nice. Yeah. Let's spend a sponge. That seems like the least valuable of the resources to spend on a gun gently. There we go. Alright. So we got ourselves a sponge for a gun, and that means I can gun saw this guy, which only spends 2 resources, and basically it's a saw and a sponge that I spent effectively, given the way I just played that. Alright, 4 water buckets. And before I go downstairs, let's grab another gun for sure. I've only got 1 saw, so 1 gun seems sufficient. Let's head downstairs and see what we get. Alrighty, generating floor 6. We get another piece of scrap, which is always nice. Won't be enough bits of scrap to actually get through the 5-door, presumably, which does give ghost step again. And yeah, I can't gun saw my way through this either, sadly. Alright, so this run is not going to unlock the final thing. So yeah, depending upon how long this run lasts, I might play some on my own and just try to have a coda where I unlock that final thing, because I'm trying to get things done before I go away. This is definitely a gun saw potential room. I have lots of water buckets, though. Yeah, the water buckets seemed exactly what you need to do this room. I just need to do it very carefully. So yeah, 4 water buckets solves this room, so let's do it with 4 water buckets, right? Oh, except for I need to make sure I have a way to walk out. I did not plan this accordingly at the beginning. I hope I didn't already screw it up. So I can water bucket here very safely. Then I can walk across here. If I water bucket this, it's going to change this, so I have to go farther up and water bucket this. So bottom, second from top. This is not going to work. I've made a horrible mistake. Because these are still going to be on the way out using water buckets. So I think I've just committed myself to using my gun saw at this point. Also, I don't know what direction the next door is going to open. And so we could be in for a world of pain, but I've started going this way, and so we're going to go this way. We're going to gun saw and hope that the south door does not open. The south door opened. Well, I think this run is toast. Yeah, I think this run is toast. So I'm going to try to pick things up again when I'm making more progress and can possibly unlock Ghost Step. So I'll see you in a little bit. So I'm back and about to head down to floor 6 of the next adventure, and in very good shape. In addition to having lots of resources, I've also got 4 scrap. There were a bunch of yellow rooms that have the bonus treasure chests in this run for whatever reason. I've also got 2 of the heart transplants, which basically just save you from a misstep. So basically, if you die, it basically resurrects you on the same spot and puts some floor underneath you and erases anything else on the tile, I think is what it does. I actually had to use it once already earlier, and that was good because I'd forgotten what the heart did. So it was nice to know. But in any case, this is going to get me up to my 5th piece of scrap, so I believe we will be able to pay the normal way for the Ghost Step, and finally get to discover what it does, which is exactly what I wanted to accomplish in recording today. Okay, I just got a wire cutter and a saw, I think? I'm not sure. Ghost Step. Step on a location from afar. Oh, wow, that sounds like a teleport to anywhere in the room that you want to go, is my interpretation of that. Which, especially down on these bottom floors where the floor is falling out from beneath me, sounds like it would be super great to save my life. Okay, so what do we got here? Looks like I want to walk across the top to break the wire. Then I can walk in from the bottom and break more wire and then be in pretty good shape. And don't touch the bomb. And I would have to use a saw on the way out and a plank, or I could try out the ghost step. Yeah, but this looks pretty straightforward. So here is my plan. I'm going to do that to cut that wire. Then I am going to very carefully, that'll break all those wires, which means now I can go over here, I can pick up my tools. I will spend a saw and a plank. Yeah, that's fine. Spend a saw. Can I? I'm actually not sure what happens when I do this. If I go south, can I walk on this now? I can. I'd need to spend the plank. Alright, just walking on a box of TNT without a care in the world. Neat. Yeah, neat. So, I think I want to try out Ghost Step. So rather than think hard about this room, what I'm going to do is just find my way in there, but what if there's north exits? This is actually, I can blow up some stuff along the way. Yeah, let's just blow up some stuff along the way while I'm standing very far away from it. I'm standing far enough away that that's fine. And I'm standing far enough away from that stuff that that's fine. Okay, and now I'm going to walk in here and then use my ghost step to get out, because I want to see how it works. See if it does what I think it does. So ghost step. Step on a location from afar. Oh, there's a finite region. Okay. Well, that still is going to be okay. Yeah, because I could actually ghost step out here. Okay, so how is ghost step different from spring then? There is something else called spring. Oh, step on a location. I think that means to like press on a pressure plate. Okay, so spring actually jumps you there. Well, darn. Now I'm in a little bit of trouble. However, there's a number of things I can do here. So I want to test out heart transplant. And yeah, if I'm going to have to gun saw through a wall. So let's do this. Turn off safety mode. Go to the north. Now you can see what heart transplant does. Resurrects you in the same spot and puts a floor underneath you. And then I can gun saw my way through here. Okay, so ghost step is basically step on a pressure plate from afar, effectively, without moving your actual player, whereas the spring just moves your actual player. So yeah, again, not a very particularly super tool, in my opinion, but that's fine. This one, if I saw my way into the bottom, I can pick up the tools and then walk out as far as here with power still going to things, but then I would need to plank, but I do have 2 planks and I have the saw. And so I think I've seen this room before, and that was the most efficient way to do it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to saw, going to get some resources, and then knowing that stepping to the left would cause the floor to fall out from underneath me because nothing would be conducting powers to these trapdoors, I will do that. All right. This guy I think we have seen before, but I don't really remember. And I do have a heart transplant that I could use. Like instead of a plank somewhere if I needed to. So I could walk in through the top, walk over the extra power supply to cut all the wires, and then yeah, I guess the plank is better than using the heart transplant, because the heart transplant could save me some other things as well. So Could also use a wire cutter to the south. Although then I'd leave myself one extra step. Although am I going to just exit to the north with the saw? I think actually yes. So given how many wire cutters I have, let's actually use a wire cutter to the south just so I can step here. And then if I were to step to the north, it won't let me without safety mode, but if I turn off safety mode, I think I'm actually safe. And I am. Let's turn safety mode back on so I don't screw anything up. And then we'll just use the saw to get out of here since I've got so many saws. That seems reasonable. Alright, and we made it to an exit. Yeah, and have a bunch of resources left in the tank. Okay. Let's return to the hub and just check out the basically completed hub other than finishing things with June. So it looks beautiful. I love it. Yeah, I think I've done enough of this game that I'm willing to set it aside for a bit, but I can imagine in the future that there will be updates where I will want to re-explore some things or see what they have done. But yeah, this was, again, I think I've said it a few times, a game I just kind of bought on a whim because roguelike puzzle game sounded interesting, and it ended up being really interesting, and so I've enjoyed playing through it. I hope, as always, that you guys are having a great day, and I will see you again soon with something new. For now, bye-bye.